Good evening, and welcome to the Nightfall in Amsterdam. Tonight we are joining the vampire Avalon, uh, picking up in the middle of a conversation she was having with the vampire prince Gunnar Thorson, as well as a new vampire to the area, who Avalon has recently learned is her biological sister. Um, Through some conversation, they recognize that with their significant gaps in their separate pasts, they need some time to get to know one another, and thus have been following Gunner into the a hilly section of the forest in which he keeps Elysium. For those of you who have been following, you may be aware that the Prince's Elysium is in fact a spirit sept, a place where spirits have power as well. Um, so some of the geography isn't quite typical of the physical realm. In fact, to get to this clearing, they followed some twists and turns and paths that didn't seem to add up, and that pattern seems to continue as he leads you into some fairly large hills, all things considered. Considering this is a forest in the middle of somewhat in the middle of a city, you didn't realize there were hills this large here, so you suspect this is more spiritual maneuvering. He is walking ahead, kind of leading the way, and Rose is following, but kind of seems to keep looking at you like she's not quite sure what to say or where to go from here.
Avalon will just smile at her as they keep following him.
He seems somewhat reassured, but kind of looking around, wondering if where exactly you're going, type thing. And not too much longer, and you guys end up standing at the edge of something between a ravine, a crevice, and a pit. And down below you can see almost some sort of brambles or sticks. You can't really make it out from up here.
Avalon kind of just looks over the entire area, trying to see if there's something more to it.
He kind of gestures and he says, the place of ancestors. It's a good place for reflection and understanding. He turns and kind of says, I'll leave the two of you here to communicate better with one another.
Okay. Avalon will look to Rose, shall we?
And she kind of looks a little bit nervous, looks back and forth between the pit and you and Gunner, and she says, I don't I don't really know where to begin. You?
Um, well, I mean, we kind of got separated for a while. It was really weird. I did ask to see you though. It's never happened. Um, hmm.
She says, I
It's
didn't really know if I'd been told I had other family, but that Steig had saved me, and that was all I knew.
well, I don't know if I had to say use those words, considering well, to be blunt about it, he's the reason we don't have the rest of our family and why we were separated. You were only a baby, you wouldn't remember. And then he kind of just took me off somewhere in the middle of Ireland. Not really sure even exactly where, but that's where I was for years and years and years.
No, I got moved around a little bit, but most of my time with him was spent in northern Scandinavia.
So you got to
I
see
don't know
things?
how to feel. He taught me things.
I understand that. Taught me things too.
I lived most of my life in a cabin near a tomb.
Near a tomb.
The only person I knew most of the time was him.
I still kind of got to go to school. Not really, it was kind of leave school immediately back. But it wasn't really something that, well, school wasn't very fun at that point. But I learned all kinds of gardening, which I was pretty good at before this stuff went down, but I picked up a lot from that being where it was. I had plenty of time. It wasn't. You said I got a little more contact than just one person.
There were times where he would have others over or bring in a tutor for me, but no one my own age, no one I form any lasting connection with.
Right.
She just kind of looks at you and shakes her head and she says, I feel like we're just so different.
That might be it.
How will we ever connect if we're too different to even have a conversation?
Oh, man.
I can tell you the best ways to slaughter a sheep or harvest its fur for wool. I can tell you, based on the weather, when the appropriate planting season is, or what the movement of the elk will be. But the rest of this is just foreign to me.
Yeah. Well, it will take time. I think it can be done. We're just now meeting each other, for the first time in, well, a very long time. So, just have to keep trying, and as we get to know each other, it'll be a lot easier.
She says, but what will we even do? How do we?
Well, we can start by taking a walk. She kind of like looks at the area around them. We both have different abilities when it comes to being outside like this. Maybe we can find some common ground there.
You hear a chuckle from the woods, and Gunner says, perhaps you need a little more of a catalyst. Roll me a North perception alertness.
Exceptional alertness. Okay.
Probably open our rolls too, huh?
I got it open. Uh-huh. What's the diff?
Let's go with 7.
One success.
All right, give me a Dex Athletics.
Oh my god. Let's see how this goes. Rolls wants to open back up. There we go. Standard diff?
Yes.
Okay. Here's my little slow. There we go. 2.
All right. So you just get out of the way as Gunner steps forward and tosses Rose into the pit.
Oh, Jeebus. What did you do that for?
Yeah, looks at you and says, I think your sister could use some help.
Yeah, I think you're right. And Avalon turns and like looks down the hill and starts moving.
You will need to make a for the Dex Athletics to climb down.
Oh, here we go. This will be a fun one. What's the diff?
Let's go with the diff 7.
Interesting. 2 successes.
All right, so you get to the bottom. It takes you a little bit though, and down here you can see the what you thought were sticks or brush are bones.
Okay. Oh, lovely.
And there is a cave kind of set underneath, a smallish cave.
All right. Well, where's Rose?
She's standing looking into the cave.
Anything interesting in there?
Roll me a perception awareness.
Standard.
Yes.
4 successes.
Yeah, there are some large werewolf-looking spirits coming out of the cave towards you.
What kind of spirits?
They look like werewolves.
Just wolf spirits.
No, werewolf spirits. Guru.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said. Werewolf spirits.
I only heard wolf.
I know I have something I can use in this regard, but books are taking forever to open. Oh. Sorry, I think it's almost ready to win. Are they the only spirits around?
Down here, yes.
Any other one, or is it just the?
It was just the werewolves. I must have cut out when I answered you.
Okay. I think you did. Are they actually coming at us, or are they just in there?
Oh no, they're coming out. Yeah, they're definitely coming towards you.
Okay. Are there any plants around?
Not much down here.
Or any sign of it, or is it just the how dead is this pit?
There's some like scrub brush and stuff, but it's a rocky crevice leading into a cave.
Okay. Gunner saying something about Guru having a place here.
Roll me a perception alertness.
Is it standard?
Yes.
Okay. You're talking, I can't hear you.
I am not. I didn't see
Okay.
a roll result yet. There it is.
Alright.
3.
Let's say 3. Yep.
So 3 successes. You would notice that the bones you are standing in, some of them are definitely werewolf shaped. Some are human, and some are wolf.
Oh, lovely. all kinds of dead wolves and humans. And you said werewolf bones too, right? Meaning Krynos?
Correct.
Reacting? Is she just watching them?
She seems focused on the ones coming in.
Okay. Let's see if I can. Um, is it? Yeah, she's watching them for sure too, but trying to.
All right. They are definitely advancing towards you.
Oh, definitely. Like, oh,
There are three of them, and they're walking towards you, and you can see that they are at least somewhat incorporeal because they're as they walk, they're walking like through the bones and stuff, but not stirring them.
it broke up part of the way through that. They're what?
You know, yours seems to be breaking up a little bit too, but they're walking through the bones, but like
Okay,
they're not disturbing them, so you can tell they're at least somewhat incorporeal.
right. They're walking, not running. Like, how they're acting is kind of I mean, with the bones around, it's not a good sign anyway. But if they're acting aggressively, then need to. Hmm.
Are you just waiting as they continue to advance?
Well, I'm trying to see like if are they aggressive? Are they chill? Are they apprehensive? Like,
No, they seem to be coming
curious?
straight at you. So they're fairly deliberate.
Yes. Um, I know. She looks over at Rose and she's like, I know a little bit about spirits, but these don't look like the kind of spirits I deal with. Usually deal with not. And she kind of looks around. I don't deal with the dead, really. Well, that seems a funny thing to say, all things considered. But
She says, I don't know if they're dead necessarily, but they're definitely of the spirit world, and
mhm.
to combat them, we would have to reach the spirit world.
Hmm. I think we might sort of be there, considering she points at their feet.
She says, well, they're there definitely, but
They're
I
not
don't.
disturbing the bones.
She says, although we are, that's my concern. We may not be close enough to harm them.
Out of character. It's like some sort of weird, not spiritual, but not spiritual realm. Okay.
Well, think of it more as a really low umbra where things can
Right.
partially manifest.
Um, I make some kind of intelligence roll
All right.
to further. I'm trying to think of the word. I guess just um, see what I would know about how this might work with this with the spirit world and the physical
Um,
in character. I don't know if spirit lore would work.
Spirit lore would, yeah. That's probably your best bet.
Yeah, I don't think any of my other lores apply
I
or
would allow
occult
a
or
general occult.
okay. Book knowledge probably doesn't apply.
It does not.
What difficulty?
We'll go with standard.
Okay. 3 successes.
All right. Yeah. So in character, you would know that there are places where the shroud between the spirit lands and the physical are low enough that spirits can manifest. And they can affect the physical world, but they can also manifest partially where things can't affect them unless those things are in the spirit world.
To make sure to relay this to understand that she knows what's going on too. That and is it like I said, this is the only spot with spirits right here?
Yeah, they seem to be coming out of the cave.
Okay. The rest of the pit is fine. If it doesn't seem to be like a thin spot, for lack of better wording.
Uh, Not. I mean, it seems kind of like the whole pit is kind of a thin thinning.
The whole pit is the spiritual. Okay. Not just the cave.
Right. The cave just kind of seems like the weakest place.
Bottom, the base of the hill that she came down on.
What's that?
The cave part is on the base of the hill she came down into the pit on, right?
You would have kind of came down, yeah, anywhere. It's like underneath where you came down.
Okay. We both know we're not getting out of this pit walking anyway. All uphill from here. I
She says,
assume, go
I
ahead.
don't know how much longer they'll wait. I have a feeling they are not.
They're not.
She looks at you and she says, "We would need something on the spirit side to combat them."
I would. Um, Maybe the only thing she really sees around them is bones, right?
Correct.
Well, this is a place of the ancestors' spirits. Maybe the very bones at our feet might help. Um, Somehow rouse the spirits within to help us fight.
She said, "Well, I don't. I don't know much about those methods. I can command spirits, but summoning them is not something I can do."
It's not really summoning. Uh, at aid from spirits here. I'll show her doing it to one. Hopefully, I can get it to work. Um,
What are you doing?
I'm gonna try to touch one of the bones and use aid from spirits. Uh,
Alrighty.
to touch. Do you need me to send you the
No,
thing, or do you have your book
I found
open?
it. I've got it.
Manipulation, occult. Three successes.
Three successes would. It kind of stirs a little bit. Like you notice one of the um, ghosts walking towards you kind of seems to stir the same way. Um, and you get kind of a shadowy reflection of the ghost walking towards you.
Okay.
So you've got like kind of two. One's more ghostly, death-like, and one's more of a noble ancestor type.
Okay. she will relay what she sees. And actually, oh, come on, my computer did the freezy majeezy thing on me again.
Gotcha.
Didn't you say there were 3 of them?
Yes.
Okay, so there I saw what 2 of them looked like.
Well, I mean, you can definitely tell all 3 of them are Guru coming at you, and
All right. The one was like shadowy, the other was noble, and that was it.
no, that's the so you
That's what I
roused like
saw.
an ancestor
Okay.
version of one of them coming at you.
Oh,
So you have kind of a mirror image between the two.
okay.
She Rose looks at you and says, "I don't know if one's going to cut it."
Ugh.
But if they're spirits, perhaps we can combat them directly.
Perhaps. Um, let's see why not, but she's kind of eyeing them up like, but they're werewolves.
Well, spirits don't function the same way they did in life.
No, they don't.
Stike had me studying those of the afterlife.
Ah, it's definitely a good skill to have. I'm sure. Um, there's definitely answers to be had there for many things, but just kind of watching these spirits as they come closer. Still, in that case, just want to ready ourselves.
She pulls out a dagger and says, "Well, this was Stige's. Yeah, I know it works on uh, wraiths and other trap spirits.
Mhm.
Do you have Anything?
I don't generally carry things like that on my person. So I do not have anything like that.
She looks at the other spirit that you summoned. She says, "Are you close friends with this one?"
She glances over at the spirit. I just called them for aid at this point. I'm sure they'll not be happy about it, but
She turns and says, "Give me your hands."
Avalon kind of holds out her hands.
She cuts her palm and
Okay.
traces runes on your hands with with her blood, and turns to the spirit, and she speaks. I don't know if you have the appropriate language. I don't know if you
Probably don't.
know Norse.
I didn't take it. It's probably an oversight on my behalf, but I didn't take it.
Well, it's Stag may not have taught that to you.
Mm-hmm.
And the spirit seems to kind of fade away, and you see the runes kind of glow on your palms.
Okay.
And she looks at you and she says, "Concentrate on the spirit."
Okay.
And I need you to roll me your willpower. Difficulty of 6.
Mm-hmm. 3.
3. You
Yep.
your hands don't change, but you seem to have like large glowing claws almost overlaying them.
She's looking at him like, that's freaking sweet. She doesn't say that, but that's what the look on her face says. That is also a good skill to have.
Well, he is such a gift can have a bite. Just be
Oh,
careful. Make sure you focus when you concentrate. If you slip, the spirit can break free and will not be happy.
right.
She turns back towards the spirits and she says, "Shall we?"
Avalon will nod.
Right. And for my own sanity, I'm not going to bother with initiative. You guys act first.
Okay.
So you'll act first, then Rose. And, excuse me. And then the enemies.
Oh, there's a shadowy one. Okay, I'll go after, yeah.
Yeah, there's 3, and you can tell they're all ghosts, not like ancestor spirits.
Okay. She will, as I go first. Am I close enough to actually hit one with the claws? Do I have to move forward? Or?
You could definitely reach. I mean, it wouldn't take much.
Okay. I have 4 dice anyway.
Or Dex Brawl.
Yep. Just 6 for claws, if I recall. Hit 2.
Alright, with 2, you'll definitely hit.
Here, I'll go ahead and roll my damage.
Yeah, and it's still a strength +1 for claws.
Well,
2 damage.
4 successes, so 4 damage.
Alright. So 4 damage to one of them. Wait 1 second. There. I close the book I need. Because of course I did. Isn't that what we all do?
Always lose the page that we need. Yep.
Alright, she will. I will get the right book out, that would help. I wonder I can't find the right page, I'm in the wrong book. Jesus Christ, I tell you, sometimes.
Pages happen.
Come on. There it is. That didn't do what I thought it did. There you go.
Take that second to find what you need in the book. I have to pee.
Okay. Fair enough.
You got it now?
I did.
Good.
All right. She will start by rolling willpower. That would help, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that's unfortunate, but so be it. Really?
I dare ask.
She missed. So it moves to them. Ouch. Oh, I forgot to apply wound penalties for the one you hit, though, so we'll adjust that one. All right. She gets hit twice and you get hit once. So you have 3 lethal coming at you.
Well, I can't dodge, can I? So.
Oh, but you can soak lethal.
Yeah, that's true. So it's like. Should I get back into my. Whopping stamina of 2. I have to. Nope. I have no successes, so I take 3. Did it go back to me?
Yes. Now it will be back to you.
Okay, so I had to take all 3 for damage. I think I'm going to spend some blood to up my dex. Drop 2 blood.
You're going to spend blood to up your dex, you said?
Yep.
Okay. Not to heal?
I can only spend 2 at a time. I guess I could spend it to heal.
Well, it's up to you. I just know you play a lot of werewolves, so sometimes you forget that that's an option.
Right. Yeah, I'll spend it to heal 2 of those damage, so I only have 1 damage now. Suppose it's not going to take my turn. Or does it?
No, healing doesn't. Spending blood is a free action.
Yeah, so I'll spend the blood to heal, and then I will come at him again with the claws.
Alright.
Ooh, 2 to hit.
Well, that's all it takes.
Yep, and I'll just re-roll my 4s again because well, it was 2 to hit, 2 damage because 1s don't cancel damage.
Alright. Next to her, she is going to spend some blood to heal. And hopefully meet with more success than last time. Or not.
No.
So she misses. Now we move to them. Roll the wrong dice. these times I'll actually remember wound penalties.
Let me ready my whopping 2 dice for soak.
All right. You will need to soak. Flip taps. You're showing 3.
All right, well, I have to take 1. And I soak nothing, so I take all 3 again.
All right.
Message that's a bunch of numbers on accident. It's me. I'm keeping track on my texts of what damage and stuff is.
All right. Then it's back to you on top.
Okay. I have a total of 4 damage. So I can't remember what the negatives are to my dice pool.
Did you heal this round or no?
Oh no, I totally can. And I will. And yeah, I will come at him with his claws.
All right.
Sorry, I'm keeping track of everything.
Well, that's no fun.
So I can keep track of it on my sheet. Not keep updating it. Here we go again.
Where do we go again?
Here's a clause for 2 to hit. No dodgy.
Nope.
All right. I rolled.
That was the second one was your damage?
Yep.
So that'll finish one of them off.
Okay.
second. Oh. When you swear you've read something in a book and now you can't find it. But I swear it talks about how tenebration affects race and I can't find it. Save my life.
Shadows.
Tenebration is the abyss, though.
Right.
Well, if I don't find it pretty quick here, I'm just going to go with the call that I've used in the past, which is that it's not good for them. And you can't even find it in the book. You just want to strangle something. Alright, well, I'm just going to roll with it. For the sake of moving this along and for plot. Apparently I can't roll to save my life. She is going to cloak. Oh, I lied. Disregard. Because now she can grapple the other two with. So she has black two black shadowy tentacles, kind of one from each hand, springs forth, and she binds the other two spirits with them, and you can see it begin to crush them.
Oh boy.
Not very well, apparently. Oh, wait. I used subtracted ones when I shouldn't have. So they both start to take damage, and they're bound in the tentacles.
Okay.
They're going to try to break free, of course. And she has a strength throw. She gets made to. So she holds both of them. But you can see she's almost gritting her teeth, focusing to hold them gripped. Both of them seem somewhat wounded, and she kind of looks to you and she says, "Now would be an optimal time to eliminate at least one of them."
Yep. And whichever one Avalon is closest to, she'll try to lay her claws on him. For dice.
It's a diff 4 because they're immobilized.
Okay. Ooh, I got 2 successes. And no damage. Of course. Go.
Well, it would be 1 damage because an attack always does a minimum of 1 if you hit.
Mm-hmm.
So you at least did 1.
Ooh.
So now it's to her. And she better hope this has some success. Wait, she doesn't need to roll it. She's already got them held, so now it's just strength plus 1. She can spend blood to boost strength. Now might be a good time for that. Alright. So, the one you hit with your claws goes down, or kind of fades. The other one is pretty wounded, but not done yet. However, opposed strength checks are a thing, and that's not good for him. As it tries to break free, it actually tears itself apart and fades away into wisps.
Avalon kind of looks around to make sure that they're good.
Gunner stands at the top of the um, cliff. He kneels down and just gently touches a um, couple of vines, and they grow down the cliff face into the crevice for you guys to climb out.
It's interesting. She'll eye up the vine and look at Rose.
She starts to climb up first, given you just kind of were waiting. She took the initiative.
She'll get underneath her. Climb up. Well, that's what she kind of looked at her and cut the rope for her.
And she climbs to the top, and Gunner says, "Seems to me your question's been answered of how you will work together."
I would agree.
She Rose just kind of lets her hands relax and throws her arms around you in a hug.
Avalon will hug her in her back.
And Gunner says, "Perhaps now we can discuss any place that is more peaceful and relaxing."
Avalon she kind of half chuckles and said, "And what is your idea of relaxing? Just out of curiosity."
He laughs, like completely laughs out loud at that, and says, "Well, I have a variety, but I'm assuming you don't want to sit around a large bonfire."
Never done it.
Well, most people I found find it unpleasant. The whole fire thing and all that.
Yeah.
That being said, I do have a long tent set up where we could gather, and I can share what I know of the journey from Steig's point of view. Perhaps fill in gaps. I don't think he's ready yet to answer any of his own questions, but I can at least give the details.
Can't say that I'm not curious.
Well, then perhaps the long tent would be the appropriate place. Filled with furs and a place where I can conjure images to fill the flesh out those stories as well.
Avalon will nod and glance at Rose. Is that good for you?
She says, "Well, I makes sense to me. I'm familiar with the tent."
Okay.
Gunnar turns and says, "Assuming either of you may be hungry after your ordeal, there are a pair of freshly killed stags just into the tree line. I make a point not to bleed them when I kill them." So if you need blood, there's 5 points of blood in a deer.
Got it. I put me back at the top of my blood pool, actually. Fill me up.
As you guys start to head towards the long tent, Rose will. She kind of. She seems hesitant, but she puts her hand in your hand and asks how the claws worked for you.
I was shocked. They worked pretty dang well.
She smiles and says, "Well, hopefully they continue to."
And you too.
The spirit is bound to your hands unless you lose concentration when activating, calling upon him. Gunnar kind of chuckles and says, "Well, I'm glad someone figured out how to bind spirits in that fashion. I tried teaching Stag, but it was never his forte. He didn't have the patience for it."
Sounds right.
And he will lead you to the long tent. He gives the deer carcasses over to a couple of humans who live there. Notably, Angrim is present, and they prepare to cook them.
Okay.
And then he leads you guys into the long tent and says, "It may be a long night. I will suspect there will be much to discuss, but let us take our time and go in some fashion of logic. And then he makes a gesture, and some of the sand, like you notice that the table has like a coating of sand on it. Not like even, but like someone dumped some handfuls of sand on there. And as he does, the sands kind of swirl into a rough picture. And he says, hopefully I can assist, answer some questions. Where Steig was in between each of you, some of what happened that caused him to stop showing up. I can even fill in some other details, such as what might have driven the one who claimed you, Avalon, to begin moving about more than she used
to.
But if we wish to start at the beginning, I suggest we settle in. And he gestures to some stacks of furs, and he sits back and relaxes.
Avalon will take a seat and leave the space wherever, so Rose can sit by her if she wants to.
She'll sit by you as well. And Steig says, I will, or Gunnar says, I will start with Steig's journey, and either of you can fill in your side of things as appropriate. And if we want to have those, hash out those conversations in Blue Book, we certainly can.
Yeah, we could.
All right. Is there anything else you want to do here before we dive into that conversation?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, you players for playing, watchers for watching. This has been a side scene for the Vampire edition of Nightfall in Amsterdam.